What is up? We're here. We're live. My dear fellow human beings, we live in troubled times. Here we are alive, and we are live, and we are living, and we are also live. We are live and living. And are my audio levels okay? I'm talking. This is what I sound like. Let me get my microphone closer to me. Hopefully not in camera. Nope, it is in camera. Push it over there. Let me get it a little bit higher. And point this down at my skull. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm dead and loving it. Well, hi, Nick. I do sound like Steven. Yes, I do. Dear AJ, yes, I do. ArtStation, what are you doing? What is this? Is this some sort of cruel joke? What are you doing, ArtStation? ArtStation has reacted to the AI protests with the most toothless kind of nothing that I have ever seen. Let's just read. Sorry, let me refresh this page. Let's just read this. Why are all, this is part of it. There's a site you can go to. You can go here. If you go to the ArtStation help, use of AI software on ArtStation, you can read their whole reaction, as toothless as it is. But let's read this part. This is the, they added the protections that DeviantArt added. Let's read it. Why are all projects not tagged with no AI by default? Good question. Why aren't they? Does that mean if I don't use the tag, I am allowing it? We believe artists should be free to decide how their art is used, and simultaneously, we don't want to become a gatekeeper with site terms that stifle AI research and commercialization when it respects artists' choices and copyright law. The way they're doing everything right now, these AI companies, is predicated entirely on their belief that they do not need to pay attention to artists' choices or copyright law. They make no allusions to the idea that they are respecting copyright. They believe that they have carte blanche to use everybody's work for whatever reasons because of extremely specific interpretations of various text and data mining exemptions across different jurisdictions, all of which are up for debate, all of which are up for grabs, none of which apply in all places that they're scraping from. Nonsense. Nonsense. We want to give artists more control over their publicly posted work. If you do not use the tag, you are neither allowing nor disallowing the use of your project for AI. Yeah, that's the neutral stance that got us into this problem in the first place. That's nothing, that's zero. That means you're not doing anything to protect, which is important, by the way. It's important to protect because places like Unstable Diffusion, Kickstarter, projects like Unstable Diffusion are specifically saying that they are going to scrape your stuff. Places like Unstable Diffusion are specifically saying that they're going to scrape ArtStation, DeviantArt, Behance. They're coming out and saying that they're going to do that in an extremely ethically and legally fraught tool. And that's the stance you're going to take? ArtStation, what the hell is wrong with you people? All right, let's go back here. I'm all right. Just a little mad early in the morning. All right. Choosing not to use the tags leaves copyright law to govern whether or not the artwork was fairly used. AI's use and its place in copyright law is new and unsettled, leaving open many questions about copyright law's enforceability against the use of work in AI. Adding the no AI tag empowers you to clarify that regardless of the state of copyright law, use of your work in AI is not permitted. I wrote my reaction. Let me just read it since I already stated it. Setting AI protection tags to require you to opt out manually is the same mistake that DeviantArt made. The vast majority of your users don't want to contribute to AI training. See trending. You should need to opt in to AI training, not the other way around. These AIs are brand new and unethical. Why the neutral stance here? 6 months of goofing around with AI is enough for you to throw hundreds of years of human creativity under the bus? Ridiculous. Also an especially bad showing since you know these tags don't do anything. These companies are predicated on the assumption they can ignore all tags and licenses. Considering it's merely symbolic, it would have been the easiest thing in the world to side with your users and artists in general and require opt-in to training. What the hell is wrong with you people? I'll say it again. What the hell is wrong with you people? It would have been the easiest thing in the world. And they're clearly not paying attention, because they would have seen that, if they were paying attention, they would have seen that DeviantArt made the same move, got the backlash, and that they turned around. They realized that they were wrong. They didn't. It's clear they're not paying attention because they didn't even do the first correction that DeviantArt did, which was that DeviantArt added a button to opt out all of your stuff all at once. ArtStation, in their asinine ignorance, has left it so that you have to manually go through one by one and opt out every single image in your portfolio. Are you kidding me? Please, everyone, the Concept Art Association has launched their fundraiser, their GoFundMe, Protect Artists from AI Technologies. We're taking it to Washington. They're very transparent about what they say. They're very transparent about where the funds are going. It's extremely realistic. If you look at the breakdown, the majority of what the ask is to pay for a full-time lobbyist in DC to push for legislation. This is very real. This is very actionable. These are smart, high-up people within the art world. Please consider donating to them. The outpouring of support has been amazing. I mean, we certainly blew past the Unstable Diffusion Kickstarter in a day. I say we, it's them. I'm using the royal we for all artists. I mean, I think we hit over 50, again, there I go. They hit over 50K on just the first day of the launch. The outpouring of support is tremendous. Some huge, very generous donations. I mean, this is wonderful. Please consider supporting and donating to this fundraiser. Right now, it's one of the most actionable things you can do to try to help. Carla Ortiz, board member over at the Concept Art Association, and the people that she's trying to get together to organize are some of the most educated people in the world about this topic right now. They take it extremely seriously, and they're trying to do it in the most practical way possible. Please consider donating to the Protecting Artists from AI Technologies GoFundMe. The link to it is the first thing in the description of this stream. I think it would be a great thing to do. I certainly donated. Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to see everybody here. Please take a look at this. Again, the link is in the description. Let me double check that. Let me make sure the link is the first thing in the description. Yep, it's up there. Go check out the GoFundMe. More things are going to come out. More actions are going to be taken. More moves are going to be made. What do you say? Why don't we spend a little bit of time, because they forced us to, why don't we spend a little bit of time going through my meager selection on ArtStation. I don't have a lot of stuff on ArtStation. I make a lot of artwork, but I never really posted much of it on ArtStation. I saw AJ was saying in the chat he has over 700 images. 700 images on ArtStation. He says, good luck to me. Yeah, it's going to take you a while. Let's manually go through and opt out each one of my images. I only have a few up on ArtStation. Let's see how annoying and frustrating this is. ArtStation, you're embarrassing yourself. This is bad faith. You deserve all of the backlash that you're gonna get. You're coming off just foolish, 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 down to the core. It's an embarrassment. Let's go through and do this. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Here's my drawing centaur. Scroll down here. No AI. The least you could do, ArtStation, is make a button that opts them all out. It is the vast minority of your users that are at all interested in letting these companies scrape their art. I'm being completely serious. Who the fuck do you people think your users are? The AI stuff is 5 months old. Who do you think your users are? Great. Delete account as protest? I just might. But I want to make it clear how annoying it is and how stupid it is to make it that you have to manually opt out all of your images and just If you don't, yes, I'm tacitly okay with everything being scraped, yeah. Delete account in protest. People are. People really, really are. I've seen a lot of people delete their accounts. I know a lot of people who are going to delete their accounts. I've already lost my place. I already forgot which one. I'm only 4 in. I already lost my place. I already did that one. Jesus. Man, imagine if the artist has dozens of pictures. That must be tedious. I think a lot of people, it would be so tedious that they will just, of course, delete their account. Of course they will. For the love of God, people. Write a script. Somebody write a script. That wasn't a bad drawing, that one. A little silly with the armpit sniff, but good drawing. I like that drawing. MT Art with the $2 donation. Thank you so much, Mel. I don't buy that those clicks will stop scraping. They won't. Again, I want to make clear, and I made this clear when ArtStation made this exact same mistake. These tags do nothing. These tags do absolutely nothing. These companies are predicated on the idea that they do not need to honor licensure or copyright. They think that the way they're doing it already is absolutely perfectly fine, both ethically and legally. They already think that. And the current method that they use is completely blind to licensure or any kind of copyright concern. We'll show them. Oh, we'll show them. They're going to find out things were not as clear-cut as they thought, but that's what they believe. This is stupid. Have you guys had a conversation with Carla regarding an effective solution? I hope it's not going to end up as advocacy for NFTs and smart contracts. I'm worried about this. No, there's so many other avenues for it to go down. And yes, we've had many conversations. Please, everybody, go consider, for example, this very actionable step. Consider supporting the Concept Art Association's Protecting Artists from AI Technologies fundraiser. They're totally transparent about where the money is going and what their plan is. There's very, very smart people running this thing. Lots of further reading if you're interested in learning more about this. You know, they got links to the the Concept Art Association's town hall with the U.S. Copyright Office. I highly recommend anybody who's interested in these things to watch that particular video. My video's linked on there, but the further reading here is great stuff. Lots of info from journalists who are looking into this. Lots of people who have been harmed by this. Lots of very scary things inside of the data sets. I would highly encourage you to click through the further reading and educate yourself on these topics. Again, the link to this fundraiser is the first link in the description of these videos, of this stream, and then you can click through and read these things. I would highly recommend to anybody interested in this stuff, please read the GitHub Copilot lawsuit. Whoops, that links to an article about it. The website for that is see if I remember, githubcopilotlitigation.com. This is actually framed by lawyers. It's not exactly one-to-one, but the data acquisition stuff is all extremely relevant. This official legal complaint that is beginning the class action for GitHub Copilot is beautifully framed, very well worded. It looks long, but it's not all that long because it's heavily double-spaced and all of that. I read it in like an hour one morning. It's hugely educational. I think that you'll find that a lot of the stuff is dovetailing beautifully with what we are going through here. So please consider donating to this fundraiser. This is the most actionable thing out there right now. Please go check it out. We're going to Washington. Now, where was I? AJ says he did the math. This will take me 3 hours if I make no mistakes. ArtStation, are you hearing this? Lots of people on your platform have tons of images in their portfolio. You're seriously going to make them opt out each one by one individually? I've already lost my place. I don't remember what the last one I did was. Please just put a button or do the right thing and make it opt out to begin with. People should need to opt in to want their stuff to be trained for these AI systems. And don't kid yourselves. If you do the right thing, which is pretty questionable right now, you will find that almost nobody opts in. Almost nobody wants their stuff to be used to train a replacement that's going to screw their job. Almost nobody wants that. People are doing mental acrobatics to get over the fact that it happened without anybody asking them, and these people came to market far too quickly for anybody to catch up with their misdeeds. But if you actually give people a choice, you're going to find that a fucking infinitesimal percentage of your users are interested in letting their stuff be scraped. I'm all right. I'm okay. See, I did that one already. I did sort of Michael. There we go. I'm like, I gotta get through this way quicker. I'm supposed to be making some art on this stream. This is taking far too long. Jesus. Hey, Steven, what's your opinion on the idea that, say, AI-generated works isn't art? And if you believe that as well, could you explain why you have that stance? If you want to hear more my thoughts in that in depth, please watch my video, The End of Art, an Argument Against Image AIs. I actually don't think it's super important whether or not it's art. I mean, the label of art is handed out subjectively, willy-nilly. I think that this conversation needs to be argued on the actual substantive merits of the argument. I personally have no emotional walls up for saying that it would be art, but everybody's definition of art is different. I personally think, here's the thing. I personally think that you could be a plumber, right? And if you're in my home fixing my pipes and you're like, I experience this as art, the way that I choose the pipes, the way that I put the pipes together, the way that I divert the water, it's truly artistic to me. Yeah, I'm actually inclined to believe that plumber, because I think that if you are expressing yourself, you are going to feel like you are an artist and you are going to experience what you're doing as art. What does that mean? Almost nothing. I mean, it's just not substantive. It's like people can express themselves with bottle caps that they picked up off the street. It's just not the actual important part of the argument. In fact, I think it's the most boring, most uninteresting part of the argument. And to be clear, there's plenty of people who would think that what I do is not art, you know? I come from New York City, one of the most highbrow, sort of highfalutin artistic environments in the world. And trust me, I've definitely met people, read articles, and been in environments where I know there's plenty of people who would look at like this drawing here and say, Steven, that's kitsch. You already knew you were doing a drawing when you were coming in. You're not being creative enough. It's not art. It's like, it's totally subjective. It's totally just wide open, and just, you can willy-nilly give that label to things and take that label away with no criteria. That's how art has always been. This isn't about what's art and what isn't. It's about unethical and probably illegal data acquisition and data use practices by corporations that are creating smokescreens of nonprofit and research arms in order to get around to enable legal loopholes that allow them to use things that are supposed to be only for research and nonprofit uses in a commercial and for-profit way. None of that stuff has anything to do with what is or isn't art. I just don't think that that's the actual grounds of the argument. I would advise all of you not to waste time with that argument. It's like, you can make the most cogent, rational argument for why it isn't art, and then the person on the other side can look at you and say, I think it's art, so it is art. And guess what? They're kind of right. That's just how art is. It's totally subjective. That's not the grounds of the argument. Still doing this. Still, man, it's taken a long time. ArtStation, what are you doing? Still tagging. And I was talking a lot there, so I already forgot where I am. Did I miss one? I don't know. Kelly McKernan made some posts on Facebook, and good example of how identical it is to her work, and she gets bullied a lot now after saying how she feels about AI. Yeah, I mean, they overfit. The systems do overfitting. They do regurgitate things that are in the training data. I actually just read an academic research article published by University of Maryland and NYU this morning that they were looking into that exact question. Do these systems regurgitate training materials? And they found that in the case of stable diffusion, their conclusion was, yes, it does. It is prone to overfitting. It does replicate things within the data set. Go to my ArtStation to scope it. I think I'm just going to outright hide all of my work and only post garbage art till this is all sorted out. I think that might be the way to go for a lot of people, AJ. I'm lucky that I don't have a lot of stuff on ArtStation. Might as well do the stuff that's not published while I'm here. Or else I'll forget. If I ever republish it, I'll forget that I did it. This is ridiculous. Oh, so tiny. Oh, this one has a lot of images in it. At least I can opt out that group of images together. Ah, yes, Inktober 2015. They were good times. Good times. That tag useful? No, it's not. Do you think this problem will reach all social media platforms for images and videos? I don't know if I don't know how much of like the text to image models, I don't know how much of their stuff is scraped from, I don't know how much of their stuff is scraped from things like Instagram or something like that. But there's been cases, from different kinds of models, like face recognition models. There was some pretty famous court cases where face recognition models were trained on Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So the problem has come to them. It's just not necessarily, these text to image models that are being affected, that are training off of Instagram. But I haven't checked. I think the vast majority of Lion 5B, for example, actually comes from Pinterest. So they are definitely inclined to scrape single websites for huge amounts of data, but I don't know where Instagram sits on that list. Oh yeah, that goes. I forgot about a lot of these drawings. That was a fun little design. The octopus tech. This was for one of the ArtStation challenges a long time ago. No AI, please. No AI. No AI. No AI. Ah, yes, my Mega Man X redesigns. No AI, please. Still like that Spark Mandrill. That was a lot of fun to do. Marker drawings. ArtStation, I hope you listen to your users. It's stupid to make people do this manually, one by one, and a lot of people, most people I'd say, have way more images on there than me. Did that save? No AI. Seba. Yeah. It's not a good look, Chief. All right, we've gone out and opted out of the relatively low number of stuff that I have on ArtStation. A lot of people have way more than me. It's also important, I think, to put this out there because the other problem with this system is that most people are just not going to catch the news. Most people aren't staying, day-to-day updated on this, searching on Twitter, paying attention to how ArtStation updates its terms of service. Like, most people are going to miss this. So it's important to get it out there and let people know, like, if you're going to stick with ArtStation and you're going to, and you want to not send the signal that you're okay with being scraped, you got to go in there and manually do it. So, you know, go do it or close your account. It's ridiculous that ArtStation is just letting so many people take the neutral stance and be like, oh, hopefully copyright law sorts it out. It's like, you know who your users are. Why the neutral stance? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Please, everybody, go check out the GoFundMe for the Concept Art Association's Protecting Artists from AI Technologies fundraiser. It's going great. Please consider donating. What an outpouring of support. I mean, it's just 2 days. Coming up on 75,000 bucks. I think they're gonna hit their goal, man. Burning through it. We're gonna make it real. Actually, this ArtStation system breaks the EU law. Interesting. Let's have the lawyers take a look. You know what? The Concept Art Association should create a website in opposition to ArtStation. Maybe they will. I think a lot of people would, I think a lot of people at this point would find they can trust an organization like the Concept Art Association much more than they can trust something like DeviantArt or ArtStation at this point. It would be nice to just, I mean, I think if they made one now, the people would really be like, yeah, they're a safer bet than these other people who have shown themselves to be spineless and not actually aligned with artists, just completely betrothed to tech nonsense and whatever adventitious winds of tech fate blow them in such and such direction. Spineless. Spineless. Absurd. Emma Blomskog. Also, what the hell did ArtStation just do? Yeah, what did they do, man? Hey, Steve, thanks for sharing the fundraiser. Donated right away. Concept Art Association appreciates it, I'm sure, Emma. Thank you so much for donating. It's going to be up for a while. GoFundMes don't have like an end date, right? They just keep rolling. Consider donating, people. And do read the CAA as being very transparent about where the money goes. I mean, look at that breakdown. You know? Go read it, check it out, see how you feel about it. Consider donating, please. Theodora Daniela Capat with the 100 donation. Here's a gift and get some cookies and chill later. We all feel it. I think I will. You know, I've been finding I really need to I gotta make a little time to rest because I'm finding myself like when any news comes out, when something happens, I'm just like disassociating and I'm like on it right away. You know, I'm responding to people, reading messages people send me, doing stuff like this stream. I gotta take a little break to eat some cookies at some point. Thank you so much, Theodora. You're the best. Let me set up here to do a little bit of drawing. I'm gonna keep the fundraiser up on screen. Let me set that up. Whoops, camera's messed up. Lights are all messed up. Cookies are dope. God, yes, cookies are dope. I do actually. Few things make me happier than a chocolate chip cookie. I'll tell you what. Sorry guys, give me a second here to adjust my setup a bit. Should be all right for a touch. Let's put up the CAA's website. Again, for anybody interested in the fundraiser, the link is in the description of this stream. Actually, let me move some stuff around a little bit. Whoop. Why did that destroy it? Come back to me. Dang, where'd it go? Hold on, let me just redo it from scratch real quick. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. It's all right. Everything should be tagged no AI with buttons to opt in. Exactly. I mean, that's the main thing that we're complaining about here. I think it should be pretty clear to ArtStation. I don't understand why they would think that their user base would not want that. I mean, look at your trending page, ArtStation. It's clear that your users would prefer to be opted out to begin with. For the love of God. Let me slide my cam over. Oh no, actually, let's leave it there. What paper are you using? This is the extra large Moleskine Sketchbook. Hey, where'd my music go? I move you guys over here. What's the point of the donations? Where the money go? Just go check out the fundraiser. They're totally transparent on how they're going to break down the donations and where they're going to go. You don't got to take it from me. CAA is letting everybody know what they're planning on doing with it. I don't know what I'm gonna draw. I just need to draw to calm down a little bit. Wow. ArtStation pissing your boy off. just for the record, AI people would say that what I'm doing right now is exactly the same as what they're doing. Let's just be clear. Even though I'm sitting here just earnestly drawing from my mind and from my imagination on the back of years and years of thinking about art, loving art, meeting other artists, asking them questions, supporting them, practicing, helping others. Living a life focused on art. The AI people will say, what Steven's doing right now in his sketchbook is exactly the same as what I do. Exactly the same. Whatever you say, champ. And I'm entitled to it. As soon as he posts it online, it's mine. Right in the data set. Right in the data set. Yummy. Can't get enough. Let's take some inks to this, huh? Do I have anything a little... Galmat Shaku with the 200. We won't let tech bros decide the future of humanity. Very accelerationist, everything that they're doing. And they're just trying to convince everybody, we're entitled to it, we're entitled to it, we're entitled to it. You're wrong, don't talk about it, don't think about it, you're gonna get left behind. They're acting like they're the benevolent ones. Like they're being so kind by reminding you that if you don't let them do whatever they want, that you're gonna get left behind. They're acting like they're saving you. Like, please, you have to listen to me. You don't understand how technology works. If you don't go with it, you're gonna get left behind. Please thank me for this incredible advice that I've given you. Uh-huh. Don't forget to draw, people. You gotta draw your way through this time. Don't give up. Drawing gives us strength, makes us feel peaceful. You gotta do it. Shiro JR with the €5 donation says, so what tags are you using right now while drawing this? Yeah, I'm currently prompting Wasteland Raider in the style of Steven Zapata, ArtStation, 4K, trending, Octane render, highly detailed, fully clothed, also naked, Emma Watson, copyrighted material, cinematic, deep space, Ari Alexa 35mm lens, Roger Deakins. That's my current prompt. Uh-oh. This pen's dying. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm going to go look for a replacement for this pen. I can get my materials ready beforehand. One of these should work. Yep. How do you come up with poses? It depends on the needs of the drawing. You know, you want to put a character like Spider-Man in a different position than you want to put, you know, Conan the Barbarian or something like that. In the abstract, you know, poses really just rely on gesture and structure and balancing of weight. But I think the most important thing is actually to ask yourself what pose is appropriate for the character you're drawing. I think if you actually take a few minutes to think about that, that'll give you more answers about how to come up with poses than sort of thinking about gesture and things like that in abstract. Let me test my pens here. So this one's got some ink in it. AI is waiting for you to finish that drawing to use it in their database. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they really just think, oh yeah, looking good, man. Same, me too. You know, my stuff also looking good. As soon as you're done with it, goes right in the data set. Can't wait. That's the problem with these systems. It's like it doesn't matter how you, if they're just going to be allowed to run roughshod over copyright and authorship, it doesn't matter how you innovate, how you move, how you grow. They're always going to be able to take every single one of your new innovations and it'll just contribute to the future watering down of that innovation. Using a very dry pen, almost like an airbrush right now. Our drawing. Yeah, that's our drawing, comrade. AI voiceover is a thing too. Yeah, check out Equity UK's efforts. They're putting in work to help voice actors prevent AI companies from training off of their performances and replacing them. AI will become sentient before you know it. Remains to be seen, but definitely something to think about. Seven Studio says, we AI artists have our right to create and sell art. We are just hated because we are new in the industry. Stop the hate. That is not why you are hated. Newness is not at all why you are hated. I don't hate you in particular, you know? I hate the systems and the unethical programs that are being released. And I hate to say it, but I disagree. I do not think you have the right to create and sell that kind of art with these kinds of systems. Everyone is entitled to their creative urge, and you certainly do, as an individual, have a right to create and sell art. But just because you have that right does not entitle you to a particular mode of expression. No one is entitled to a particular mode of expression. Just because you want to be a filmmaker doesn't mean that a film studio needs to give you access to the same tools that they give James Cameron. You can't just insist, all right, well, I get to walk onto the same set as James Cameron and kick James Cameron out of the chair, and now I sit there and I tell his crew what to do. It's time to make my movie. Not at all. No, nobody is entitled to a particular form of expression. And your form of expression is unethical, I would argue illegal, is anti-humanist, does infringe, Can we just agree to leave bad reviews on AI games in the future? It might be a good idea. It might be a good idea. Today I went to Stable Diffusion subreddit and saw massive hate towards CAA initiative, and especially Carlo Ortiz. Made me very sad on how few people actually think about artists. Of course they hate Carlo. Of course they hate Carla. They're horrified of her. Carla's scary, smart, and capable. Scary, smart, and capable. Of course they're horrified of her. Of course they're mad at her. Carla is a goat. Carla is a warrior, dude. No Fear Zero says, hey Steven, I'm sure you have had this question before, but what would you say to someone who wants to quit art over this whole AI craze right now? My friends stopped drawing. I think that's very unfortunate. I think that it's a bad idea to quit. I'll say that. We don't know what's going to happen, and things are going to change quickly. And if things go our way, and this whole craze gets regulated, legislated, litigated, and then it suddenly seems very viable again indeed to be a creative person, you're going to regret not having spent the intervening years practicing, however long it takes, whether it takes years, months. If it goes our way, you're going to be very glad that you brought up your skills and that you put in the work. So I think it's a bad idea to quit, personally. Every person needs to follow their heart individually on this. You know, art is always a difficult career in the best of times, so much less now. But I'll say this, with the research that I've done and knowing the things that I know, I wouldn't quit. Never! Man, the amount of hate to artists in general is just astonishing. It is astonishing, isn't it? I wish I could say it was surprising, but it is a little astonishing, for sure. Let me generate my anime waifu. They just love their waifus, dudes. Can we really blame them? They just love their waifus. They'd do anything for them. Which of us would not break the law for the one that we love? Is it their fault that the one that they love is their anime waifu? May the jury look kindly on this fool. Have you heard about Stable Diffusion allowing opt-out for their V3? It should be opt-in, it should be opt-in, it should be opt-in. It's not noble to allow opt-out. It's barely remedial. Their other models are out there in perpetuity. A lot of the people who are going to be incentivized to opt out, they want to opt out and they even know opt-out is possible because they've already been screwed by Vs1 and V2, which are out there in perpetuity forever. It's not noble. It's not cool. Should be opt-in. Also, they're just doing it off of the pressure of one company, spawning. Other text-to-image model companies don't need to give spawning the time of day. We need stronger ways to compel them. We need regulation. Besides, they're shrewd. I mean, Stable Diffusion knows that they stand to benefit from letting people opt out because they understand the tech. They know that they can pass off liability, legal liability, onto their users. And Ahmad Mustaki has been saying this over and over again online. He says, well, it's better this way because you guys can just fine-tune it better to what you want to do. So he's passing off the liability and the legal repercussions onto his end users, which is comical, of course. Ahmad doesn't think opting out is keeping those things out of the model. He's just saying, yeah, you opt out, but if a user wants that artist in there, they'll just fine-tune them in. And they provide tools for fine-tuning, so. It's nonsense, baby. Steven, someone just posted a pretty good example of overfitting on the Midjourney subreddit. Screenshot. Just take a screenshot. Let's pull up another tab. Someone sent me something very interesting this morning. Someone sent me something very interesting this morning. I want to thank Phil V for sending me this. My mouse is all messed up today for some reason. Sorry, guys. Keeps automatically backing. What's this? What's this? An academic research article? From the University of Maryland, College Park, and NYU? Asking diffusion art or digital forgery, investigating data replication and diffusion models? Huh, that's interesting. Let's go down to the conclusion here. The goal of this study was to evaluate whether diffusion models are capable of reproducing high-fidelity content from their training data, and we find that they are. While typical images from large-scale models do not appear to contain copied content that was detectable using our feature extractors, copies do appear to occur often enough that their presence cannot be safely ignored. Stable diffusion images with dataset similarity greater than 0.5, as depicted in Figure 7, account for approximately 1.88% of our random generations. I think a lot of you would find this article very interesting, and it's confirmation that Stable Diffusion is indeed inclined to regurgitating things from the dataset, essentially one-to-one. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Interesting stuff. We already knew all that. That was already clear. Ahmad Mustaki himself has admitted that Stable Diffusion has problems with overfitting. We already knew that. Just sharing that's coming out of a university. People are asking where you could find the article. It's basically brand new. Again, thanks to Phil V for sending me this. I do think this is the kind of thing that needs to be investigated by the professionals, you know? Math people need to look it over, see what the conclusions are. I also want to point out that that article said a lot of the other image generator models were not doing that, but that Stable Diffusion was prone to doing it. There's tons of examples of overfitting out there. People have been screenshotting it like crazy. But let the truth come out, you know? Everybody go figure it out. I mean, it's out there in public. Again, I want to remind people that like the genie out of the bottle argument that so many people have is it's just Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion made the grand egregious error of putting their stuff out there. When you draw something from looking at 5 different references on the internet, that's exactly what the AI is doing. Wrong. Yeah? Is the AI looking? Is there anything there? AIs analyze things on the pixel-to-pixel level. They ingest their training sets completely and in their entirety. Humans are subjective interpreters of images. Humans are never trapped in a static state. The image models are. They stop learning. They are simply trained, and then they are frozen. They don't understand context. They don't have a cohesive worldview. And need I remind you, they don't have a family to support. They don't have needs for food. They don't need protections for their labor. The idea that it's the same thing that a human is doing, who has a whole physiology, a whole body, an intricate neurovascular system. And my God, I mean, the first people to admit that they're not like each other at all are the actual professionals, the machine learning people. They all know, yes, this is nowhere near what humans are doing when they learn. It is a less than dumb probabilistic lookup table. It's a latent space that you navigate with prompt and seed number. Two people with the same prompt and the same seed number are going to get the same image out. You're not creating art, you're finding art within the latent space. They're so mathematically linked that you could run the products in reverse. And if I had the output image and the seed number, I could get the prompt. It's just locked in a static state. It's not at all what human learning is like. I need to put like 1 drop of ink into this brush. I'm not going to do that because I'll probably spill like I usually do. Then I'll have to clean it up on stream. Drive-by commenter with a $5 donation. Thank you so much, drive-by commenter. I don't like when they compare it to sampling. Give Pete Rock, Dr. Dre, and Ninth Wonder the same sample and instructions. The output will be different. Also, people pay for samples. Lots of people who do covers and who do samples, they know that it's risky and that they could be litigated against. A lot of people who sample pay for the rights to use the sample. Licensure is a thing. That's our drawing, comrade. AI people, I think you should make yourselves a t-shirt that says that's our drawing, comrade. I think that's funny. That's a free one for you, since you guys don't like paying for ideas. Naro with the $5. Been seeing my friend pay for those AI PFPs, and all of them listen when I say, don't use it. It's important to talk to your loved ones about this stuff. Loved ones need to hear it. Guy and Greg, thank you so much for the donation, by the way, Naro. Thank you for the $5. I'm trying to edit into delicious coffee so I can go on caffeine-fueled AI research binges. Guy and Greg with the $5. Some have started framing criticisms of AI art as wanting to end fair use and that it's a psyop by big corps like Disney. What's your take on this? What's my take on this? For the love of God, let's read fair use, shall we? Let's read a little fair use. These people are getting too big for their britches, and I'm really starting to get the feeling that they've never read this stuff. They're just parroting each other's points. That's it. They're not actually thinking, man. Give me 1 second here. All right, for the love of God. All right, fair use handbook, fair use laws from around the world. Let's look at the US. So the fair use laws in the US are actually remarkably short. It's a miracle that a lot of these people seem to have not read them, even though they're remarkably short. So I'd recommend anybody to go read them. If you actually read them, I think that it puts AI at the point of training in a very tough spot. So number one, the first thing that they like to talk about is that it's transformative, and they act like that's it. That's the end of the discussion. The transformational nature of a use to make a fair use is a part of, and a precedential part of, point 1 for fair use. It's not even in the letter of the law. Let's read the 4 points. 1, the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. We'll come back around to them, but let's read the other 3. 2, the nature of the copyrighted work. 3, the amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. And 4, the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. The fact that a work is unpublished shall not itself bar a finding of fair use if such a finding is made upon consideration of all the above factors. Now, I know that that's pretty broad. I guess, again, I find it a little annoying that clearly no one has read this stuff, but let's look for some elaborations. Who better to ask for elaborations than the Copyright Office of the United States of America? So now we're at copyright.gov/fair use. Let's go down here to common elaborations on these laws, and let's see how effed our AI friends are. So number 1, purpose and character of the use, including whether the use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. Courts look at how the party claiming fair use is using the copyrighted work and are more likely to find that nonprofit, educational, and non-commercial uses are fair. As we've said, the end use of AI training has clearly become for commercial purposes. They sell subscriptions, they sell credits and generations, and they are offering commercial licenses to their end users to then redistribute the work that is being used. So I think that's actually pretty damaging. Here's the transformative part. It is a non-exclusive defense point within just one point of fair use. And when it goes to court, by the way, fair use is just a defense that comes up in court. Courts take everything else into account. That's what it means to be non-exclusive. The transformative part is just one part of this aspect. And again, it's not even in the letter of the law, which we can read here. Transformative is not even mentioned in point 1. Let's look at point 2, nature of the copyrighted work. This factor analyzes the degree to which the work that was used relates to copyright's purpose of encouraging creative expression. Thus, using a more creative or imaginative work, such as a novel, movie, or song, is less likely to support a claim of fair use than using a factual work. Ooh, that hurts, don't it? Since we're talking specifically about vastly creative work here. So it hurts your fair use case that it's not a factual thing, that it is a creative and imaginative work. Number 3, amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. Fuck. Under this factor, courts look at both the quantity and quality of the copyrighted material that was used. Like I said, at the point of training, you're using the whole goddamn picture. Now, I have to admit, there are fair use questions to be had. There's different fair use questions to be addressed by lawyers at the point of training and at the point of output, right? So we have to get that clear. There's different fair use questions at the point of training and at the point of output. At the point of output, there's going to be outputs that don't use a considerable part of a specific image, but there's going to be other ones like we just saw in academic research papers like this that find that there are overfitting examples that do use the picture basically one-to-one. There are going to be overfitting examples at the point of output that do use the whole damn image. But again, at the point of training, you are ingesting the whole image. So again, hurts for fair use. And then number 4, effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Here, courts review whether and to what extent the unlicensed use harms the existing or future market for the copyright owner's original work. You think it doesn't hurt Greg Rutkowski's market to be generating hundreds of thousands of images in his style and his name without his consent? You think it doesn't hurt his market to put a fine-tuning model out there that claims to be able to replicate his look to all of the people who would otherwise hire him? Yeah? You don't think it hurts the market? That's interesting. In assessing this factor, courts consider whether the use is hurting the current market for the original work, for example, by displacing sales of the original, and or whether the use could cause substantial harm if it were to become widespread. These people have never read, even for a second, the fair use laws. And the laws in the UK, which are called fair dealing laws, are remarkably similar. For the love of God, all of you fair use idiots, shut the fuck up. If you read the actual laws, it actually doesn't look like it helps you guys very much. You guys are fucked. You guys are fucked. Please support the Protecting Artists from AI Technologies fundraiser so that we can send a lobbyist to DC who can point the legislators at what is already laid out in the fair use laws and remind them of what's really going on here. Gagan Greg says, "Meh, I guess if you support big corpos being litigious, I'll support the automation of art and media, something that vastly favors large corps instead." Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They are shooting themselves in the foot. Can I get the link? That's a US government link, copyright.gov/fair use. It's all right there, dog. And the link to the fundraiser is in the description. I fucking love drawing. They are algorithmic thieves, yeah. Steven, our heavyweight in the red corner. I mean, as I've told you guys, the more and more I research, the more I'm like, the case is very good. They really should not be doing this. They really should not be doing this. You should try refreshing the GoFundMe page. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. The outpouring of support, man. It's heartwarming to see our community, you know, coming together, being unified. I haven't seen art this unified in a long time. Unrelated, but banger music. An allusion to the old ways. I can't donate much, but golly, I could not look in the mirror if I haven't sent at least $1. I mean, any contribution helps. Any contribution helps, you know? I think it's definitely going to work. I mean, it's just so many people care. It's clear what side most people are on, you know? Most people would prefer if art remained human and that people could, you know, go for and get creative jobs that support them. I think banning altogether, you know, all of us banding together is going to definitely work. I think that fundraiser is going to work out. So just any little bit helps. You've done a good thing there. Impressive how much has been raised so far. Yeah, it is impressive. Certainly blew the unstable diffusion Kickstarter out of the water. I mean, the AI people are the vocal minority, you know? Oops, looks like I'm out of ink. My fountain pen. The truth is that most people are pretty sane on all of these points. And most people do want human-made art and want humans to be the people who are making art, you know? You talk to most people agree. The vehemence and, you know, online presence of the AI community sort of can make it look another way, but facts are facts. The humanistic truth is the humanistic truth. Just gotta run my pen a little bit until the ink gets flowing. Any second now. I wonder if I didn't break the seal on the ink. All right, the ink is not flowing. I'm gonna have to cut to a different tool. What do I have here? I got 0.1 should be fine. All of my pens are drying out. If you use AI, your pens never dry out. Maybe I should rethink this whole AI thing. I guess I'd never thought about it that way before. Checkmate. Micron pens are my favorite. They're a lovely tool. Really lovely tool. Oh man. This would be a good spot to do with my my G-nibs, but I didn't set up beforehand, so I don't have a spot for my inkwell. Ethan Olson Arts with a $5 donation. Who here would switch to a new portfolio platform that wouldn't allow AI-generated content? Terms of service would include this along with community reports. I bet a lot of people would be interested. I think a bunch will emerge. I think a lot of people are not going to feel sort of like they trust places like ArtStation and DeviantArt now for quite a while. They've really shown their colors that they're just, you know, they ain't artists, you know? I bet if a place like Concept Art Association made one, people would be much more inclined to trust them because they've shown that they're really all in with artists and that they didn't have to sort of kowtow around and be doubtful in what is obviously an anti-humanist and anti-artist movement. LOL. I bet a lot of people would move over to one. Krita was based, by the way. What did Krita do? I know Clip Studio went back on adding stable diffusion to their product for literally no reason. Like, why did you think it was a good idea to add it? Like, anybody needs that, you know? You can go use stable diffusion on your own for free. It's like, why? Why? What the hell were you thinking? What's wrong with people? Love it. Love it. Krita came out against AI art publicly. Bless you, Krita. Indeed, very based. Based indeed, my good man. Yes, Krita, long-standing member of our community, quite well respected. Some people go so far as to say that Krita's based. You eating lunch? What's it gonna be?
Quesadilla.
I'm not surprised.
You want something?
No, I'm alright. I'll eat after the stream. Thank you, though. Una quesadilla. This AI boom really feels like they're trying to destroy artists for fighting against NFTs. That's funny. I think that they just, you know, they're a bunch of people who found a mathematical thing that did a certain thing, and they just brought it to market as fast as they could without really thinking it through, and just wanted to make a bunch of money off of it. And here we are, living in the consequences of that. Don't forget to stretch. Very true. That's very true. Theodora Daniela Kapat says hello to the wife. Hello. She says hello. Let's do a new sketch. Actually, I need a little bit, I need bolder, more bold shapes around the head. And before Steven's voice is added to AI voiceover, it's inevitable. They're going to make audio deepfakes of me advocating for AI saying I was wrong. Advanced God with 11 euros. Do you worry about images in general becoming meaningless? QAnon lore has this mythical vid of Clinton eating a kid. They could generate that now and go, see? People would not buy it. Not enough awareness. I think there will absolutely be problems like that. There will absolutely be problems like that. I think that that's one of the reasons that this is not going to be an artist issue for very long. I mean, this is going to break containment very soon, and it's going to become relevant to just about everybody. So that's another reason that I'm actually optimistic. It's like, we're not going to be alone in this. Lots of people are going to care. Rafiq says, Steven, what do you think about pro artists that are neutral, not caring about the AI crusade? I don't understand. I just, I don't know. I just don't understand. I think that they've just been so conditioned over the years to think that their life is based around always adapting to the newest trends and things like that, that they can't like see through that conditioning to the fact that this time is different. But that's just me trying to armchair psychologist analyze them. They have their own reasons. I can't pretend I'm in their head, but I got to admit, I just do not understand. I can't believe it, you know? You're doubling up on quesadillas. Should we put the impossible stuff out for dinner to thaw? Or do you want something else for dinner? It's amazing to see how much Steven's channel has blown up since he started talking about AI. It's great, but I feel tempted to say I like Steven before it was cool to like Steven. I liked Steven before it was cool too. Whatever amount of the blow up is about that, it's like, I'm trying to remember that that's not, you know, this is an issue I really care about, but it's like, that's not me, you know. I was something else before all this. I'm not the AI guy, you know. I'm Steven. And I make art. So I just assume I'm going to have to blow off a lot of those subscribers and followers like a winter coat at a certain point. You know, there's going to be some percentage of people who are really just following me for the AI stuff and for the energy around it and things like that. And, you know, I look forward to the day where that energy is no longer necessary. And I can stop talking about this stuff. And I'm not the kind of guy to run a channel based on, you know, contentiousness and arguments and drama and things like that. My channel is still about the peace that drawing brings and how good it is for a person and the mental and spiritual sides of the artistic journey, available for everyone, by the way. So we'll have to, all of that will have to blow off at some point, and I'm okay with that. Kink of the Cosmos wants the love. From the AI love bot. If I were you, I would not be so quick to let an AI decide who you love. I'll say that. I want the love, I want the love. Please, Mr. Robot Man, tell me who to love. Who to love? Don't know who to love. No, I need a robot to tell me who to love. Legato11111 says, Steven, hey, it's me, the robot. Our drawing that you are doing right now is in severe lack of fingers. It's okay if you leave it this way. I will fix it later for sure. For sure. For sure you're going to fix it later. That's our drawing, comrade. Emma says, so glad you're not the kind of creator online who thrives on drama and narcissism. You're always being genuine. Well, you know, let's pump the brakes on narcissism. I mean, I'm definitely a little narcissistic. Deirdre, would you say I'm a little narcissistic?
Oh, yeah.
She says, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I definitely don't thrive on drama. But let's get easy on the narcissism. LOL, looks at all the Steven verse art. Yeah, definitely not narcissistic. Yeah, let's not forget that my most valuable IP is a universe where I'm the only inhabitant, cloned endlessly. Let's not forget that. I'd like to present to the court exhibit number 1, The Eternal Chronicles of Steven Zapata, Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1. Emma says, how could I so foolishly forget the Eternal Chronicles of Stephen Zapata? I mean, it's there. You know, there's facts in the world. And we can't deny them. We can't deny those facts. Can AI giggle like a child and dance around because it loves art so much? I don't think so. Indeed. Not yet, at least. But even when it does, how do we know it's not just pretending? Forget which pen is the... Oh, there we go. What sketchbook is this? This is the Moleskine Extra Large sketchbook. Let's rotate this and do another drawing. Love the drawing, by the way. Oh, thank you. I love how as soon as I start drawing, that's when all of the AI people are like, now's our chance. Steven's not paying attention, he's being creative. Let's post our shitty arguments, hurry. What are you buying, Resident Evil 4 guy? Hell yeah. Seems about right to me. What are you buying? What are you selling? That resurfaced as a meme in my home recently because I was playing the VR version of Resident Evil 4. It was back in my life. That VR remake of Resident Evil 4 is pretty good, man. Opt out speed run stream when? I literally did that at the beginning of this stream. Just watch the replay afterwards. That was the first part of this stream. I went through and I opted out all of my ArtStation images. It took a while. I wouldn't call it a speed run. Not enough cash, stranger. What are you doing with that? Going elephant hunting? I'll buy it at a high price. I haven't played with any AI yet, but it seems concept artists should probably learn its capabilities ASAP. We don't know what's going to happen with the individual industries, but the problem right now is that they're completely unethical and probably illegal. Woo! Those markets are going to decide on their own what they want in their markets. Where's the rest of my needed eraser? There it is. There's one piece. I've got another piece floating around here somewhere. But it just can't be this way. It can't be built on this unethical foundation. Is AI art honestly that good? Whoops, sorry. Is AI art honestly really that good? It always feels like it was just Photoshop filter. I wouldn't be taking it seriously if it wasn't a genuine technology. if it wasn't good, we wouldn't all be worried. Verithel with the $10 donation. Thank you so much, Verithel. I'm gonna turn it into something lovely. Maybe a giant cookie, maybe a coffee. Thank you so much. Thank you for drawing today. Thank you for drawing today. Hi, I'm Steven. I draw and I rant. Thank you, Verithel. Your kindness is noted, stranger. Just rolling down this drawing a bit. Gonna get a little bit more elaborate with the pencils on this one. That's just what I feel like doing right now. Mechanical. Hi, Steven. Could you share what gear you use for your top-down and talking head recording? I'm using a Glide Gear overhead rig. My camera is a Lumix GH5. And yeah, that's what I use for this. I have my face cam is just a regular webcam. Well, a nice webcam, but it's a USB webcam. I hooked the GH5 up with a Elgato Camlink 4K. I have a green screen behind me. Saido Kuraku TM trademark with a $5 donation. Have you heard the argument of AI being similar to photography? All the time, ad nauseum. And it is clearly not. This is unlike any other previous technology. This technology is based on the mass absorption and use of data from the public. Copyrighted data, private data. The precedent set here will affect everybody. And if we set a precedent where we allow this to happen, it doesn't matter what we make for the rest of time. These companies will have carte blanche to do whatever they want with everything that we make. The stakes were simply not the same with photography. They're totally different technologies. The analogy does not hold up. And I would argue that anyone who's flinging that argument at you is either not paying attention or they're flinging it at you in bad faith. Terrible, terrible analogy. I wonder why my camera's lagging. Looks laggy to me. Who knows what that's about? No. These don't usually lag like that. I think I might have a setting wrong. Probably have my HDMI out set to something non-ideal. Let me mess with that for a second, because I might be able to fix that easily. Let's do down convert on 4K 30. Did that break my... No, it doesn't really help with the lag. Shutter speed's at 60. No, that's not doing it. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'll have to look into that later. Steven, waffles or pancakes? I know that this is a subtle war. I don't really want to get involved in the pancake waffle war, but I do think I'd be more inclined towards a waffle than a pancake. Deirdre's mad at me.
I never knew that about you.
Okay, well, let me be more specific. I think the average waffle will surpass the average pancake, but the best pancake is probably better than the best waffle. Does that make sense? Who will win, waffles or pancakes? Yeah, people get surprisingly heated about this. The war goes on. Hey, Steven, I noticed that some people who aren't artists are seeing the anti-AI art logo behind, posted without context, and are confused. Could you advocate for posting the image without an explanation? Advocate for it? I mean, people who are confused, you know, it's just... This is still a pretty niche issue, still. But don't worry. Very soon it's going to be not a niche issue. Because these data acquisition problems and these machine learning and artificial intelligence problems are going to affect absolutely everybody. So for now, I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably a good thing to probably start planting it in people's brains that these things are happening, and that the companies think they have the right to just scrape everything and make commercial money off of scraping.
I gave you water.
You gave the dead one water?
Yeah.
You know you just killed the other one, right?
Oh.
Plants hate
I'm
water.
telling you so that you don't water it too.
Thing's fucking dead. It's raining today. The ambient moisture in the air was already drowning it.
Here. Well, I guess it is a cactus.
I would take that water out if you could. It's not gonna survive.
Take the water out?
I'm just saying. You know plants hate water. They die immediately as soon as you give them any water. Do you think there's something wrong with our water?
I mean, it hasn't killed us.
Not yet. But we're more robust than these little plants.
Yeah, our water is probably no good. If I had to guess.
If the rise of artificial intelligence forces more artists to draw more, how evil was it really? It's making people quit. It is not having that effect yet. People are definitely dropping out and drawing less. People feel immensely discouraged. I get messages from people every day talking about how discouraged they became. It's hard enough to commit to drawing, even without something like this going on out in the world. Does Skynet begin with AI art? I don't know. I would say let's try to not base our worries and our assumptions off of Terminator here. What other artists on YouTube here that support the cause against image AIs? I know Modern Day James don't like it. My friend Ahmed Al-Duri, he don't like it. Anthony Jones, he don't like it. There's lots of artists who don't like what's going on here, man. I saw Loish posted about it yesterday. It's just silly. So absurdly silly. Judging by the quality of this sketch, it would be better if no one would learn from you, neither humans nor AI. Lol. Welcome to the stream, Carla. Happy to have you here. Good job on our drawing, Steven. That's our drawing, comrade. Jacob Barr says, thank you for everything you've done. I've started up daily drawings again for myself amidst this chaos because of you. Thank you for keeping me grounded through this mess. Yes, yes, sir. Happy to help, Jacob. Happy to keep the world drawing, truly. It's moving fast, huh? I just refreshed it. It went from 77,000 to 80,000. It's a good old little fundraiser right there. Good old little fundraiser right there. For anybody interested in donating to the fundraiser, please remember the link is in the description in the video. It's right at the top. What are you squeeing about? No, my white balance is not on the setting I like here. That's usually the one I like using. No, that looks very warm in my current lighting setup. Let me put it back on auto. Actually, let me leave it there. And I'm gonna turn off these. There. Rudy McLaughlin with the 45 pound sterling, lira, I forget. Hey Steven, thanks so much for helping and defending so many artists out there against AI. You're an absolute and pure legend. You've supported me and others in these dark times. Please know that. Everyone else here, keep creating and have fun. Thank you so much, Rudy. I appreciate the donation and I am happy to have helped in whatever small way that I can. I really appreciate it. You're a doll, you're darling. Thank you so much for the donation. I mean, you guys are really keeping me swimming in caffeine. And nobody more so than Rudy. I'm gonna jump into a pool full of coffee. And as I jump into it, I'm gonna scream Rudy. Rudy McLaughlin. Drowning in a pool of caffeine thanks to Rudy. Vance Kovacs and Evan Amundsen removed their portfolios from ArtStation GigaChads. Of course they did. Of course they did. ArtStation's being a bunch of jackals. I think a lot of people are going to remove their portfolios. Where'd my music go? Coffee and cookies. Yay. Anyway, I'm going to leave and do some art. Don't stop fighting predatory AI tech bros and their companies. Enjoy your arting, Ratzel. Yeah, I'm not going to stop. Like art too much. Simply like art too much to not put up a stink about all of this. In the eternal words of Bugs Bunny, ain't I a stinker? Hello, Stephen. What kind of mental energy do you try to focus on when you are practicing your art? Only happiness, just joy. That's all I try to track. You know, for the most part, my personal art practice, at least, is just about, my number one priority is having a good time while I do it. And I try to remove the invidious thoughts that would otherwise distract me from that purpose. Art is a way to mine existential joy for me, and to commune with the very nature of existence. Does that sound pretentious? It is. It's art. What else is going to sound that pretentious? But it really is true. Yeah. I try to step away when I'm drawing for myself from any considerations of going for clout or jobs or money or doing what other people are expecting from me or anything like that. Just, am I having a good time? Do I like what I'm drawing? And the second I'm not having a good time, I stop and I draw something else. Within reason, of course. Sometimes you're just tired. That's no reason to quit on something. So AI art isn't cool? I've been on the MJ Discord for a while and people there just talk about money and tech issues. None of them talk about art. Yeah, I mean, it's a little, you know. If you actually keep an eye on what they're making and the environment around it, it's like, no one's really using the stuff to try to make anything, well, I've tried to not make a habit in my life of casting aspersions on people's taste and what they want to make with art, so. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. Isn't it ironic to hate on AI art but not digital art? Nope. It's not ironic. You can use digital tools in bad ways, for sure, infringing ways, but a lot of digital artists are making things by hand. They are drawing. They just happen to be doing it on a digitized tablet. AI art is completely different. They're not analogous. It is not at all ironic to hate on one and not the other. And your false equivalence there is just not going to hold up as an argument. Everybody, every sane, rational person who's looking at this calmly sees that they're not at all similar, and that this is a different thing and a unique thing and needs to be looked at on its own merits, own grounds. The false equivalences are just not going to work there. Steven, what do you think about photo bashing? Non-infringing photo bashing, that is, because I know that can happen. Yeah, it can happen. I mean, photo bashing in a professional situation is done under pretty strict regulations these days. I mean, I've had to do photo bashing for work before, working for studios, and when you photo bash for work, it's not your art director asking to see your sources of the photos. First off, a lot of people think nobody asked to see the photos you used. They do. And it's not your art director asking. A lawyer reaches out to you and says, let's see the photos. And then they clear everything that you did. And if they detect that there's a problem, that you're not supposed to be using that photo in that way, they'll make you redo that part of the picture with a different photo. That's why you don't even mess with it after a while. When I was doing that a lot in studio, it's just like I only used pre-cleared resources. They were provided to me by the company, stuff they had already legally cleared, stuff they had already licensed for the number of views that they were putting stuff out there for. I bought photo sets that were specifically licensed for use in commercial setting and up to the viewerships that we were aiming for. Didn't even mess with that stuff. Is it my favorite way to work? Not at all. I stopped doing it as soon as work stopped asking me for it. I've always preferred drawing by hand myself. Let me get my inkwell. How you doing? I let a bunch of ink dry on this nib like an idiot. Let's see. Let's see how it do. I need to get a new nib out. This one might have lost its flexibility from having stuff dried on it. You zoom in a bit here. I don't know why my feed from my camera is lagging. I gotta figure that out. It usually runs at a quicker frame rate than that. Do you ever soak and clean your nibs? I don't soak them, I just wash them out when I'm done. You love dip pens?
Yep.
Me too. Well, I've been off of them for a long time. I'm purposely trying to practice with them more lately. Good luck with your Christmas drawings, Travis. Thanks for the kind words. Proco is pro-AI. I wouldn't go that far. I think that he, and I do think this is a little unfortunate, I think Stan thinks it is inevitable, and he's not one for taking that sitting down, so he kind of wants to try to get involved, I think. He'd toyed with AI early on his own. He had tried to make like an AI bot that could correct perspective and things like that. So I know he's very troubled by the ethical problems. I think he's just maybe not all there on understanding that something can be done. I thought Mr. Zapata would be more open-minded. Nah. No, I'm a closed-minded hypocrite. You can run and tell that. Have the ugly AI trolls came out of the woodworks yet? Tonight is oddly calm? No, I don't think so. I think to a person, everybody in this stream right now loves me and agrees with me. That's the vibe I'm getting. Your stream really gave a good boost to the funding. Thanks, Steven. You know, just trying to help. I hope so.
Do you want anything for lunch?
Go, baby, go. Y'all are doing great. Oh, a little update from the Concept Art Association. Wow, over 80K in less than 48 hours. Thank you all so much for the support. We love you all and are honored that you're helping us make this plan a reality. Congratulations, everybody. I mean, it's awesome to see the donations going up so fast. This is great. God, they're doing it so good, so practical. I mean, trying to get a lobbyist, a DC lobbyist, to educate on these things. That's the real deal right there. That's some practical ass stuff. Well, that's interesting. That said, if you know a lobbyist that's wanting to join the fight pro bono, please connect them to us. If anybody knows anyone, drop the Concept Art Association a link. This fight needs as many voices as we can get. They're committed to this cause and community. Remember, if you are not in a position to donate currently, sharing with friends, family, and peers is just as effective. Rudger says, you should play Fortnite. You know, if I played Fortnite, I'd probably get more viewers. I'm a sucker for seeing the fidelity increases and stuff, so I don't play Fortnite, but I was tempted the other day to install it just to check out the Nanite update. Pretty interesting. It was looking pretty good. Yeah, if anyone's interested in donating to the fundraiser, it's the first link in the description. Keep it real, folks. The numbers speak for themselves. Nanite plus Lumen update is cool, but the game is trash. Well, a lot of people like it. It's not my kind of game. I'm not really for, not really a competitive games kind of a guy. I did play a little bit of the new Elden Ring Colosseums the other day just to test it out. But yeah, in general, I'm not really a competitive game kind of a guy. I did really like invading in Bloodborne. I don't know why that in particular really tickled me. I think it's because it almost feels less competitive. It's more like you're part of the environment. It's like environment versus player versus player. It was always a lot of fun to set traps and turn monsters against the defending person you were invading. I like to invade in Yargul Unseen Village and duel people on the staircase before the cathedral lamp where the amygdala is shooting its laser constantly. That's the most fun place to do duels because you've got to keep in mind what parts of the staircase are safe and what part aren't. Nowadays, it's rare to bump into people in the proper modes in that area. It's not the same when it's just like in the arenas, you know? Baloo says, oh god, I've been watching for more than an hour and just realized this is live. We're live, baby! Coming at you live from the Anti-AI Stadium. Live from New York, it's Mad on the Internet with Steven Zapata. Starring your host, Steven. Have you guys seen this thing, Stable Diffusion? I guess people who are prompting these things are calling themselves artists now. More like prompter posers. Am I right? We got a great show for you tonight, folks. Really love the pen ASMR. I'm glad you guys can hear the pen. The audio is definitely not balanced for that, so that's fortunate. Fractal Disarray says, Steven, that dude you're drawing is looking sick. It's like an evolved psychomantis. It is like a psychomantis kind of a thing, huh? I think it was I think it came out because we were making the merchant jokes from Resident Evil 4 earlier. I think that conditioned me to do this character who's selling illicit goods. The forearm thing, don't know where that came from though. I think I like the idea that when he's got the trench coat closed, you don't know he's got the other set of arms under there. Will AI also affect job of UX designers and product designers? Inevitably, I believe. Inevitably. That dog looks so happy to be there. He is. This guy's like,
I think you're going to like some of what I have for you.
and then the pug's like,
Please buy me.
please buy me. Hi, I'm Pugsley. Here, I'll put his little paw up. She's like, hello, traveler. Fancy seeing you here. I must admit, no one's been interested in buying me yet. But perhaps you will be the one. Take me from this place. He's cruel to me. He hurts me. I assure you, my price is reasonable. The dog is the puppeteer. Yeah, he's secretly the boss. This thing has no brain. I think you're totally right. This is an android. The actual executive level consciousness is in the pug. Oh, him? Don't mind him. Just my chosen vessel. What can I interest you in? Ah, the Eviscerator 4000. Excellent choice, sir. Anything you point that thing at is going to disappear instantly. And I do mean instantly. And not just disappear from this realm. It'll completely erase it in all alternate dimensions. I believe I could let it go for, 800 million credits? Unless you're willing to help me with a certain task that I need done. The pug body, it really does protect you from the police. They never suspect you, but it does limit what I can do on my own. Rutger Gullen says, Steven, have you seen the recent YouTube trend where the titles are really weird, like, you've been drawing wrong all this time, or stop drawing like this? Yeah, I mean, those have been around for a while. I don't like that stuff. Anyone who's been around my channel for a while knows, I think that's silly. There's no wrong way to draw. You gotta find the way that works for you. There's no drawing rule that can't be effectively broken. In fact, there's no drawing rule that can't be broken to the tune of a whole career. So, I think it's wrong to make extreme statements like that about drawing. Drawing is very structureless, and there's 1,000,001 ways to make it work well. In fact, more than 1,000,001. There's as many ways as there are artists.
Say hi to Max and Emily.
They in there? Hey Max, hey Emily, how you doing?
They're unpacking boxes in their new home.
Oh, congratulations on the new place. Happy to be your company while you unpack. Breathing is killing your gains. That's funny. I feel like people that are for AI image generators are driven by laziness and selfishness. I don't want to paint too broad of a brush there. I mean, this is just something that is out there right now, and not everybody understands what's going on, and people are really just reacting to incentives and the presence of something, you know? There's going to be some people driven by selfishness and laziness, but it's not going to be everybody. I mean, I have no energy to fight with individual end users or anything like that. My interest is in the companies, the systems that are allowing this, the systemic questions, like the laws, the ethics, text and data mining exemptions. That's the interesting part for me. Individual users, like, I'm not surprised that they're using this technology. It is a serious technology. It's really doing what it says. If it didn't, then we wouldn't be paying attention to it. And drawing is a wonderful salve for pain. I'm still mad at ArtStation. I definitely started this stream extremely mad, especially having to opt out one by one. But you just draw for a bit, damn. Really makes you feel so much better. It is a true existential buoy to exercise your creativity and do a little bit of drawing. For everybody out there who's feeling discouraged with all of the AI stuff, you got to draw your way through this time. Don't give up. It's important to keep drawing. What is the longest drawing session that you have done? Holy God, I mean, insanely long. Ooh, those donos. Insanely long. I mean, in college, I would just like draw all day to keep up with work, you know? And there was plenty 12 to 14 hour drawing sessions in college. Not a lot of eating, not a lot of exercising. Tough times. Damn it. Gonna have to black that out. The hatch marks that I used randomly, just by chance, made it look like a value graphic indication of an actual penis. That's unfortunate. When in doubt, black it out. Zenus. Brendan Callahan says, Steven, how much would you suggest someone is paid to have their images included in the dataset? Unless the artist sells the rights, you still can't produce similar images with stable diffusion. I don't know. I mean, that will truly come down to letting the market develop itself. It's going to vary from artist to artist. Some artists are not going to feel like they need much to be included, and other artists are. You know, you'd have to pay me a lot to want to be in the data set. But not everybody's going to feel the way I do. Brendan says, fair, hard to tell this early. Do you think that data sets once produced should be able to be sold? You mean data sets that have been, artists have been compensated for? It all comes down to the contract that you enter with the artist. You just need, it needs to be transparent, it needs to be consensual, it needs to be opt-in. If you have a data set where the artist understood what they were getting themselves into, if you made a contract with them where it's been made clear to them, like, you're going to give us this number of images that we're going to use to train the model that's going to be released under this license. You know, is the model controlled? Are you going to open source it? Things like that. And then if you clear with them, like, you also give us the right to resell this data set based on this flat fee. If the artists understand that, it's up to them to consent. And you just can't be surprised when, you know, the more lax you write the contract, the more it benefits you and doesn't benefit them, the less inclined any individual artist is going to be to let you just use their stuff. But it all just comes down to, does everyone agree with what's going on here? The problem with the current situation is that no one agreed, no one consented, no one even knew people were allowed to do this. They also seem to be doing it under completely fraught interpretations of certain text and data mining exemptions, and they didn't compensate anybody, and they believe that everything that they're doing is totally above board, and they, a stable diffusion, in this case, open sourced it, and that causes permanent market damage to a lot of artists. NFT smart contracts are the answer. Shut up. Shut up. The bad moves that companies like Stability AI have made, they need to be litigated against. They need to be held accountable for what they've done. We need to get our heads on straight about what we want people to be allowed to do with the data of everybody. The precedents being set here are really just going to allow companies to use everybody's data however they want for any goddamn reason they want, and that's plainly crazy. Pile Driver just donated $100 to this cause. Bless you, Pile Driver. Bless you. Big thanks to everybody who has donated to the cause. Very hopeful about what can happen here. Highly optimistic. Based on everything that I've learned, a lot of it behind the scenes, unfortunately, people are really going to care. People are really going to care. And most people are not inclined to be on the side of robots that make art. It lands absurdly with people. Where is my music? Dang, I've been going for 3.5 hours already. I'm gonna start thinking about wrapping it up because I'm getting quite hungry and I've got feedback to do. Gonna try to not just try to rush this because it's got way too much work left on it to do quickly. Maybe we'll come back to it. Just got an ArtStation ad on here? Jesus. That is funny. You'll love to see it. Is this Vivaldi in the background? Mozart. All right, I don't want to rush it. So let's just stop there. That's good. I mean, it should be small, right?
Yeah.
I'll hang out for a minute here and say goodbye. Everybody, please, again, the Concept Art Association fundraiser. Check it out right there on the left side of the screen. Protecting Artists from AI Technologies. The link is in the description. Go check it out. Consider donating. ArtStation, what the hell are you doing? You should need to opt in to AI training ArtStation people, not opt out. It's absurd. If you rewatch the beginning of this stream, I had to go through one by one and opt out my images on Art Center. Lots of people are quitting. Lots of people are dropping out. Lots of people are closing their pro subscriptions. Lots of people are deleting their portfolios. Joseph Santoyo with the $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, Joseph. You're a saint. Thank you for being you, Steven. What else could I do? What else could I do but be me? Do I have any other option? Do I have any other option but to be me? No, I don't think so. The funding went up 10K during this stream. Cool. I hope that we contributed some small amount to that 10K, truly. It's going good. It's shooting up there. Things are going to get very interesting. Very, very interesting. Carla Cornfield has been driving you guys crazy, huh? Ugh. Have you read the 80K update? It's on the GoFundMe page. I read parts of it. I didn't want to sit here and just read the whole thing while I'm streaming. I read the beginning and the end of it. Where'd it go? There we go, yeah. She's quite the troll. We love her in a way. You know, sometimes you gotta let these free radicals come in here and, you know, spew their horrible arguments so that you all can see how bad faith they are and how people actually believe some of the dumb crap that they're saying. I don't know. I'm just not, honestly, just not worried about it enough with everything that I've learned to like go banning people like Carla Cornfield or anything like that at this point. But I do want to remind everyone, of course, that I am a tyrannical despot here, and this is all at my personal discretion. And the second I get bored or annoyed by any of you, I will, of course, just ban you. Because all that matters here is that I feel good. It's my stream, so. So everybody, please, if you happen to have any connection to ArtStation, ask them what the heck they're doing. Why are they doing it that way? Were they not paying attention to the DeviantArt mentality? Were they not paying attention to the DeviantArt mistake? They didn't even do the first correction that DeviantArt did, which was to make a button that opts out all of your stuff at once. They're just starting from square one, right at the exact same mistake DeviantArt made. Gotta talk to him. Just, geez, ArtStation, what the hell are you doing? This is ridiculous. If it's going to keep going this way, you got to tell your friends, because this all relies on just knowing what's going on. Tell your friends, like, you got to go into your ArtStation stuff and opt out each one individually. It took me a while, and I have very few images on ArtStation. For people like AJ who have 700 plus, you're in trouble. You got to go in there and do something. Again, keep your eyes on the Concept Art Association GoFundMe fundraiser. We're going to Washington. And just stay educated on what's going on. Keep drawing. Everybody who's feeling discouraged, like, you got to draw your way through this situation. You shouldn't be quitting. At least I don't think. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions and their own worries, but I think everybody should keep drawing. Outside of market incentives, whatever happens with these things, drawing is always a good idea. It is justified in and of itself. Drawing is an existential thing. It's not a market thing. So these are very real concerns, but even if everything goes to crap with the markets, even if nothing goes our way, there's always still a good reason to keep drawing. So keep going. Onji Kun said, I donated $25 to the GoFundMe yesterday. You're killing it. You're killing it. Yeah, go to all artists. Some haven't found out yet. Yeah, that's the thing. That's another reason it should be opt-in. It's like, what do you expect everybody who uses your site? There's a lot of users. You think everyone's going to hear about this? No. How long have you been on the internet? People miss this stuff. You're screwing them. So tell your friends. Tell your friends. I feel more motivated to draw right now. You should feel motivated. Drawing is wonderful. Always good, no matter what's going on. I know that it's difficult. I know that if you're trying to make something, you're trying to build a career and put everything together, it can be super, super discouraging. But there's always a good reason to draw. Always a good reason to draw. That's the first drawing we did on today's stream. I don't know why I felt like inking today. Just randomly felt like inking. I didn't know about it until I saw you doing it. Yeah, you know, we got to spread the word for sure. Draw, sculpt, smith. Be creative, people. Yes. Be creative. It's important to be creative. If you don't exercise your creativity, you're going to become creatively and spiritually constipated, and it'll destroy your soul. Weird how things that make art actually accessible, sharing art online, are being painted as wrong, while stealing is okay. Yeah, I mean, people are trying to say, you know, that I'm not making art accessible or just all these ridiculous things. Like, there's hundreds of hours of me just distributing freely, like, here's how I draw, here's advice from a professional art teacher about how to get better at drawing. But, you know, none of the personal stuff matters. It's just about the merits of the argument, the legality, the ethics, what is or isn't going to happen. I don't think people should be fighting with each other over this stuff. I don't think, you know, any interpersonal argument or fight about this stuff is really not going to go anywhere, you know? It's not going to show up in court. It's about the laws. It's about the letter of the law, the spirit of the law, and what humanistic decisions we're all going to make about how we feel about automation, data scraping, what people can do with our data. That's the real deal stuff. That is the real deal stuff. All right, everybody. We've been going for a while here. I'm hungry. I am going to go eat. Thank you for being here on this wonderful Friday. Spread the word about these topics. If you can't donate to the GoFundMe, consider just sharing it, telling your friends, posting a link, anything like that. It'll help CAA for sure. And I will see you all again very soon. Monday. See you on Monday. What do you think about the constant use of apologetics for AI? Like it's inevitable? Yeah, it's not. The inevitability argument is mostly based on it being open source, and that is the mistake of one company, and one company is always, of course, susceptible to legislation, litigation, regulation. They fucked up by open sourcing it. That's clear. It's not inevitable yet. Everything else that was behind closed doors could still be regulated, controlled, algorithmic disgorgement. Stupid mistake by one company. They need to be held accountable. So no, I don't think it's inevitable. The inevitability, the genie being out of the bottle thing, it's narrative control. That's it. There's no genie out of the bottle. The genie that they're talking about is how many NVIDIA A100 processors can Stability AI buy. That's it. It's just money. It's pretty clear cut. It's actually extremely practical. They say there's a boulder rolling down the hill that no one can stop. It's like there's people pushing that boulder. Yeah, I don't buy that argument at all. I do not buy that argument at all. All right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care. Happy drawing. Bye-bye, everybody.